Joel 2:28 through 32. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit on all flesh. Your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams. Your young men shall see visions. And also on my men servants and on my maid servants I will pour out my spirit in those days. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood, before the coming of the great and awesome day of the Lord. And it shall come to pass that whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. This is New King James Version, and it is about Jesus' return. And I wanted to start with that because of all the dreams that I had been getting from 2015 after coming back to the Lord and asking to be used by Him. And I'm starting today with November 14th, 2021. And this was a really symbolic dream for me. And I had been praying for my family, extended family, for their salvation. And this dream that I had, I was in heaven and I was handing out wedding garments to a line of people. And so I would greet them, hug them, hand them clothing to wear. And right next to me was one of my aunts, and she was in a beautiful dress. She was glowing and happy. She was standing to the right of me and started helping me. There were people lined up. Then I saw who I thought was one of my younger cousins off to the left of me. But now, after while after this dream, I started thinking that wasn't my cousin. That was actually my uncle who had passed away. And, well, it's been 30 years now he's been gone. He died when I was 12, around there. And so he was there, standing off to the left of me, smiling. The sun was glowing off of his hair, I remember. Hands in his pockets, how he used to always stand, and he had a white shirt on. And then I noticed at the end of this line where I was handing out garments, one of my other aunts was standing. And this was a very sad part, but she was in rags and very dirty, very sad. And after this dream, I realized what it meant, that it symbolized the raptured people, my aunt to the right that was in a dress and happy and beautiful. Those who come before us to my left, my uncle who had passed away 30 years ago, and he was in white. And then at the very end of the line, one of my other aunts represented those who will come to heaven, but through tribulation. And that is what the Lord gave me as kind of a comforting message, that they will get there. Might not be pleasant for all of them, but they will get there, and it really did comfort me. And November 15th, I dreamt I was dressing for work, and my husband was there, and he said he'll take me, and he was helping me pick out clothes to wear, and it was taking a long time. And then I was rushing to work on foot all of a sudden, and I had to stop for traffic. And where I was a downtown area, which I don't work downtown, so it was kind of weird. But I was at a light, and all of the vehicles were giant, larger than life, and They were all stopped at the light, and I rushed off because it was a red light, rushed across the street. And then there were children behind me, one on a tricycle, and then one on an older child, so like a 12-year-old or so, and then a younger boy. And then all of a sudden, the cars start going before we even get across the street. And instead of going back and helping the kids, I dart across the street. And then I turn around to make sure they made it and realize they didn't. And I just start crying and screaming and saying, "Lord, why didn't I help them?" Okay, so the crazy thing is that I had been going through fostering licensing during this time, and we got done right before Christmas. And this dream I had November 15th. And the crazy thing is, the children, the first set of kids that I took in, were the same ages and sex as the two kids in this dream. So I felt like it was kind of a prophetic dream. Even though it's not about end times or anything like that, it was still very prophetic. And then on November 24th, I woke up hearing, "He's working through the hands of time." And then I heard another word from the Spirit, a whole set of revelation, or a new set of revelation. I couldn't remember which wording it was. And November 27th, I was watching a video from a lady, and she said she had received a word from the Lord, foreign matter in our atmosphere that didn't originate from Earth. And it made me think of the word that I received in 2019, alien bacteria. November 29th, I was having a bad day at work, and then another lady that I listened to, her podcast, she said, "You don't need their approval." And that was a word that she had gotten from the Lord. You don't need their approval. And that was exactly what I needed to hear right then. All right, we're on to December, almost done with 2021. That was a long year full of stuff. So, December 9th, I had a dream that my older sister and I were waiting in line to buy food at a movie theater. I told her I had to go do something and I'd be back. And she said, "Make sure you see Greedo." And I said, "Okay," and started to walk away. And then I turned around and said, "What is it called?" And my sister said, "Greedo." I walked a few more steps and asked, "What?" And then the whole line of people waiting said in unison, "Greedo." And then I woke up. So I wrote down the word Greedo, and later looked into what that word meant. And it's actually a celebratory war cry when Mexico gained independence from Spain on August 24th, 1821, under the Plan of Iguala. And three things that came out of this plan were primacy of Roman Catholicism, number 2, absolute political independence of Mexico, and number 3, full social equality for all social and ethnic groups. And so I did not realize that they were forced to have the Roman Catholic religion, and that would explain why the majority of people over there are Catholic. And so then this just brought to memory the 16-year-old boy who had visions of the tribulation period, and how he said, "Beware of the Catholics. The first word will come from them. They will claim it's peace, but it's corruption." And this dream just made me think of several different things. So this same year, on November the 9th, Mexico gifted the UN with a statue called the Guardian for International Peace and Security. And the crazy thing is, it was a jaguar eagle mix with bare feet, the same beast that's in Revelation. And how crazy is that? This boy said they'll claim it's peace, but it's corruption. And I just put all this together because it was Mexico and that whole area and the Catholics, and it's peace, but it's corruption, and the beast. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction comes upon them as birth pains upon a woman in labor, and they shall not escape. So was this a sign that the birth pains have begun? Possibly, I don't know. I believe birth pains have been going on for quite a while. But Greedo, why would the Lord point me in that direction if that was from him? I don't know. I still should pray on that one. All right, December. Oh, I'm going to stop now and then I will be back. God bless.